And so then when I was 18, I always wanted to go to India. So although I'd run away from home, I was that time in touch with my parents, and my mother said, oh, you know, you're due some little money from, you know, putting money away for me over the years, and some deposit thing. And then I said, okay, yeah, that's nice. How much? And I think it was like around £300. And I said, okay. In my mind, I thought, okay, that's enough for a ticket to India. So she gave me the money, and then I bought a ticket to India. I went with a friend of a friend, you know, happened to be a guy, and we were traveling. We took a train right down to South India. That was quite austere, you know, in those days especially. So it was like 2-day train trip. But then we ended up on this yoga ashram. So then I was doing like hatha yoga, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, and then there was like a little temple, and they would chant these mantras, Om Namah Shivaya, and all this, like, and I thought, oh, this is pretty good, you know, I liked it. But then, you know, in the back of my mind, I thought, oh, you know, I'm not sure about this because of my little Christian upbringing, you know. But anyway, I travelled in India, went all over South India, everywhere, for like 3 months, and then my money ran out.
Both of you with your friends? Both of you with your friends?
No, actually, after the yoga ashram, we went our separate ways, and I was travelling on my own, which isn't advisable at that age, but anyway, somehow I did. And then after 3 months, as I said, my money ran out. I didn't want to leave India, but had no choice. Then I went back to London, and I didn't like living in London. It was a big city, you know, it was a bit too fast for me. And so then I thought, you know, I just want to travel, you know, get around. And I ended up living with this lady, black lady, and she was very spiritual, and we used to have all these spiritual discussions, you know. Anyway, so there was one time, and I wasn't taking any drugs, like, I'm just telling you that what happened to me, it wasn't drug induced. So one day, because I was looking at all kinds of spiritual books. I had my whole bookshelf was filled with spiritual books. And, you know, I was just into everything kind of thing. And then one day, I just went into this different dimension. I can't explain it. It was just, yeah, kind of an out of this world experience. It was
While meditating?
No, I don't know. I wasn't meditating. It just happened. And then I thought, wow, what's this? You know, I couldn't relate to people and everything, and then I was like, wow. Then all of a sudden, this voice came, very loud and very clear. You have to follow one spiritual path. You have to choose one spiritual path. So then I thought, oh, then I was so happy to hear that, because I thought, yeah, I was kind of all over the place, you know, looking at everything, really searching. So then I thought, okay, at least, you know, that's given me some direction now. But then I thought, what spiritual path? And I was looking at all my books, and I was thinking, wow, this one's good, and then so then I thought, you know, I was planning to go traveling, so it just came to me, I'll go to Portugal, you know. And I thought, I saw this on the map, there's this place, Nazaré, okay, I'll go there. I was very spontaneous, you know. So then I didn't have any money at that time. You know, okay, I'll just hitchhike, no problem. Then, so at least one thing, I was very good at doing tarot readings, you know, because I was in that kind of like New Age circle, and I was quite tuned in, you know, it was quite naturally psychic. And someone told me later it's in my chart, you know. So then I would do these tarot readings for people, and people were like, wow, this is, you know, you're really good. And so I thought, okay, then I'll just take my tarot deck with me and just do readings for people, and maybe they'll give me some donations, and that way I'll get around, you know. So I did that. I went to the local coach station, you know, Victoria coach station in London, and to get a bus to get a ferry across to, I can't remember, it was France, I think. And just before I got on the coach, I went into a pub and I just said, oh, would you like a tarot reading? Yeah, sure, you know. And then I was doing, and they gave me like, one person gave me £10, another person gave me £20. I was like, okay, great, you know, I can do this. So then I went on the bus ferry, went to France, and then I went on through France to Spain, and then Portugal. So by the time, when I was in Spain, then I came across some people, and this one guy especially, and I told him, you know, I had this tarot deck, and he said, let me have a look, and he was looking, he said, this is no good, no, you shouldn't use this deck, you shouldn't do this. And I don't know, I was very easily influenced, and I was like, oh really, you know, he kind of scared me. So I just threw away my tarot deck, and then I was like completely like dependent on God, you know. And you know, I would just sometimes sleep in fields. I was like, you know, wherever I could find, because I didn't have money. And then when I got to Portugal, I went to this place, Nazaré, and then my money completely finished. So I had no way of like supporting myself, no form of income, nothing. I thought, oh God, you know, what am I going to do? And then, so I thought, anyway, I have to eat somehow. So I went into a shop, and I asked the shopkeeper, I said, look, I don't have any money, I don't have any food, can you give me something? And he said, okay, yeah, sure. I think he felt sorry for me, so he said, just take this bag and just help yourself to whatever you want in the shop. And I was like, wow, you know, like, so I did, but then, you know, I had enough to eat, but after that I thought, what next, you know? So then I thought, you know, I should just make my way back, you know, and what am I doing here anyway? And but I have to say something without going into too much detail, that I had some experiences on the way, on that journey, that my life was sometimes put in danger, let's put it that way. And when that happened, then I remembered my Christian upbringing, and my favorite prayer was, the Lord's my shepherd, I shall not want, he maketh me down to lie, in pastures green he leadeth me, the quiet waters by. This is a famous, what do you call it, Psalm 23, yes. So then when I chanted that prayer, then all of a sudden, like, no one could harm me. I was completely protected. And it happened more than once. It happened like 3-4 times. So then that really strengthened my faith in God. Like before, I was kind of believed in God, but it was like not such like strong belief. It was like spirituality is the way, you know. So then I thought, God definitely exists. Now I have no doubt, and he's protecting me. So then I made my way back towards England. Went through France. Someone told me, oh, there's this community, Christian community, called Tizzy in France. France, Tizzy in France. So I went there, and I met with one of the nuns, and you know, she was very nice. She was trying to help me, and she said, you know, you can join in our hymns and everything. And they were chanting the hymns like mantras. So I thought, wow, this is nice, like just like mantras. I loved it, you know. So I spent some time there, and then this nun, she said, why don't you go to this Christian community in England? I thought, okay, I was open to that, and she arranged. And then she helped me kind of, I hitched back, I think. And then I went to the south of England to this Christian community and stayed there for some time. So, and then when I was there, the guy who was in charge was vegetarian, and I liked that. And